The Lost Mermaid-Chapter 29. As I returned to school, I was filled with worry. Though my wound was healing quickly, I wore a long-sleeved shirt to cover it. It felt like an eternity since I'd last been there, and my missed schoolwork weighed heavily on my mind. However, I was relieved as soon as I spotted a familiar face on the school grounds. Dacia saw me from a distance, dropped her bag, and rushed over to give me a hug. "Julie." She pulled away and looked at me. "I have been worried sick about you. Are you okay?" "I'm fine. I have so much to tell you." "I heard something about a mermaid?" Looking around to see if anyone heard, I asked. "Who did you hear that from?" "Oh, let me guess. Wayne." She nodded. "Yep, you got it." "Well, I can't talk about it here, but I'll call you tonight." "I'm dying to hear about it." She nudged my shoulder playfully as we walked down the hall together. As she filled me in on all the school drama that happened while I was away, and it was like we had never been apart. As a few other kids asked where I had been, I gave vague answers about being out of town, but I couldn't shake the guilt of leaving Jared on the beach without a second thought. I was sure he was stressed out and angry with me. I felt terrible for breaking my promise to him. Avoiding him all day, I closed my locker with a heavy sigh, ready to go home and rest. I turned to walk down the hall as a familiar voice called out. My heart dropped. "Julie," Jared said. I stopped, nervous to face him. He walked over, taking me in, relief shining in his eyes. "You're back." I ducked my head guiltily. "I'm sorry I left you and didn't come back." "I bet you were worried sick." I scuffed my shoes against the floor, pausing for a few seconds to find the words to explain. I got so caught up in their world. My eyes flicked to his face, willing him to understand. It was so beautiful, so magical. "I feel so bad." "Julie." He stopped me, putting a hand on my shoulder, and I met his gaze uncertainly. "It's okay, Jules." He sighed, running his other hand through his hair. "I was really worried about you, though." Guilt cut deep within me, and I hung my head. "I'm sorry for leaving you on the beach like that," I replied, my voice barely above a whisper. "I told you I would come back, and I broke that promise." Jared's expression softened. "It's okay," he said, giving me a small smile. "I was worried about you, but I trusted you. I'm just glad you came back safe and sound." His forgiveness made me feel a little better, but the guilt still lingered. Jared sighed. He lifted my chin so he could meet my eyes. I was surprised at the warmth of his expression. "What I'm trying to say is I missed you." A smile pricked the corners of my mouth. He sounded like he really cared. "Thanks, Jared." He smiled back and grabbed my backpack from the ground. "Come on," he said. "I'll walk you out." As we walked out of the high school, I noticed our station wagon was missing from its usual spot. My family left me. Letting out a sigh, I shut my eyes. I couldn't believe it. Had they really had to wait that long? I had told Shane I would only be a second. "Well, it looks like life's back to normal," I huffed. "This is wonderful." Sarcasm dripped from every word. Beside me, Jared let out a snicker. I whacked him lightly. "It's not funny," I said. "Oh, come on, it's a little funny." My long sigh turned to a half-suppressed laugh. "Just for that, you're taking me home," I told him. "Anything for you, Jules." At first, I thought he was teasing me, but when I glanced at his facial expression, he was serious. I blushed as he led me to his truck and opened the door for me. "Thanks," I said. He smiled as he jumped in the truck and we rumbled off. He flipped on the radio, which was playing. "You Were on My Mind" by We5. When I woke up this morning, you were on my mind, and you were on my mind. I got troubles. I got worries. Whoa. I got wounds to bind. While the music played and the wind blew through my hair, I savored the moment until my attention was drawn to the fact that we were not taking our usual route home. "Where are we going?" I asked as we drove down Ferndale's main street. "I want to hear about your week," he said. "Let's catch up over dessert." "Sounds great," I agreed. Jared brought me to Ferndale's diner, where I ordered a lemon bar and a glass of milk. It reminded me of the mermaids. I could almost taste the mermena with every bite. "So, you want to know about the mermaids?" I asked, sipping my milk. "But remember, you have to keep it hush-hush," I warned him. Jared nodded eagerly. "You know I can keep a secret," he assured me. So I told him about the arboretum, the sharks, and the whales. He choked on the lemon bar when I told him about Suede and the keel spear. I told him about finding Heather, Cohen, and our little Aura. "Holy cow," Jared said. "You had the experience of a lifetime." I swirled my milk in my glass cup. "So what did you do?" I asked. "Your brothers and I looked for you like chickens with our heads cut off," he chuckled. "We thought we lost your dad and your brothers were all going to jump in, but I held them back. I knew it was too much to risk your whole family with the undertow and all. I tried to keep them calm, even though I wanted to jump in as much as they did." A serious expression filled his face as he gazed deep into my eyes. "You're not a silly girl, Julie. You may be a scattered daydreamer, but I trust you," I reassured your brothers. In my gut, I knew things were going to be okay somehow. I didn't think you'd be gone as long as you were, but I knew you'd be all right. He leaned forward onto his elbows. "If you want to know what I was doing, well, it's like that song said, you were on my mind." I smiled shyly. "Thanks for helping me and my family. You have always been there for us." "You're worth waiting for, Jules." I gulped, feeling his unabashed love for me. "Anytime." He flashed a smile, then got to his feet. "It's probably time to get you home. Let's scoot." The familiar, chaotic atmosphere greeted me when I got home. Benny was whining, my little brothers were chasing each other, and the big boys were goofing off. I cringed at all the noise, wishing they would quiet down since Jared was there. But he knew what our family was like and didn't care, so I surrendered and just watched with amusement. I was about to ask my brothers why they left me at school when I noticed something different in the front living room. "Hey, where's my stuff?" I asked, looking around. All my brothers were there, trying not to smile. I eyed them suspiciously. Was this a prank? "What's going on?" I asked. "So remember that old broom closet?" Mike asked, clapping me on the back. I gave him an odd look. "What about it?" "Go see for yourself," he said. I frowned at him and went down the hall. Wayne clipped close behind me, looking like he was ready to burst with excitement. The rest of my brothers followed behind. Hesitantly, I turned the knob and opened the door to the closet, turning on the light. I gasped. The whole place had been emptied. Instead of dusty old brooms and buckets, there was a bed and all my things. It was extremely tight, but there was a spot for a tiny desk, mirror, and a real bed, my very own bed. Even Aunt Katie's tea set had been put in a little curio as decor. I peered closer and saw there were 4 cups on the saucers. Even the sugar teacup Jared had borrowed was back. "Welcome to your new room, Julie," Leroy said. I whirled around to face my brothers, at a loss for words. Jared had a knowing smile. "Finally?" I asked. "Did you know about this?" "More or less," Jared shrugged. "My job was to keep you busy." I felt my eyes burn with tears, but I blinked them away. My own room. I couldn't believe it. It was so small, but it was mine. I walked inside, studying everything reverently. They had put up rose wallpaper on one wall and a pink and white camise blanket with a white fringe on the bed. It was perfect. On the bed lay a white box with a turquoise silk ribbon. Dale picked it up and handed it to me. "Open it, sis." I sat on the bed and opened the package, a glimmer of bright turquoise catching my eye. My eyes widened. I pulled out a gorgeous turquoise dress. The bodice glittered with silvery jewels, and the skirt was long and flowy. I touched the sleeve, wondering if I was in a dream. "Oh my goodness, it's beautiful," I whispered. Everyone beamed. "But where how?" I stammered. "We put our money together," Shane said. "Dacia helped us pick it out." "Do you like it?" "I love it," I breathed. "Thank you." I couldn't believe my brothers had done this for me. "We missed you, Jules." Wayne clasped his arms around my legs, and I leaned down to give him a hug, pulling him close. Dale joined in, his voice muffled as he said, "I was afraid I'd never see you again." "I love ya, sis," said Leroy, wrapping his arms around me. "I'm sorry I've been so hard on you." All my brothers hugged me, and Jared backed away, saying, "I better get going." "Thanks, Jared," I called as he headed out. The boys and I sat on the bed and talked for a bit. Then Dad came by and the boys scattered. "Come here, Julie." Dad gestured for me to follow him out the door. "I want to go for a drive with you,"